I have never been more disappointed as a white woman. I have been deconstructing a lot. I have been deconstructing the Mormon faith that I grew up in, but not only that, I've been deconstructing my own white culture. And what I've come to realize, and that's been honestly probably not a huge surprise to anyone else, but for me it was a huge surprise to realize and learn that white culture is racism. White culture is white supremacy. How did I grow up not knowing the names of people like Emmett Till, of people like Solomon Northup, of people like, I did learn about Harriet Tubman, but you know, she was pretty mainstreamed. Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. All three of those, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King, I was taught growing up. Like, for example, Malcolm X, he's a rioter. Martin Luther King, he wasn't good. He was a plagiarizer. He plagiarized his work. What? What? And back then, hearing it, be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, he doesn't deserve a whole day to himself. He was quintessential for changing the civil rights movement. Watching Solomon Northup's 12 Years a Slave was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. Watching the Nottoway plantation burn and see my palm-colored relatives say, oh, how sad. Oh, it's gone. After learning what happens on those plantations, especially after the 12 Years a Slave, what do you mean you want to celebrate love and eternity and marriage on a place that was so heavily focused on hatred and ownership and torture and rape? I mean, I also I watched on YouTube Unseen Memoirs and Unseen Memories back when in the 20s, when they went the last generation of born slaves, born into slavery individuals, and they would stake them down, each arm, each leg, so you can't curl and whip them. But not only that, as if completely shredding their back open isn't bad enough, they're gonna go ahead and sprinkle salt on top and let you fry there in the sun. And most of the time, you end up not making it. You die from getting beat to death. Now, my ancestors, during that time, were creating a cult. They weren't rich enough to own slaves, so they tried to scam their own color, and they created a cult that is now the Mormon Church. Still very widely successful today. Yes, Joseph Smith is in these veins, unfortunately so. The Mormon Church on its own is so heavily racist. The fact that Joseph Smith allowed black people into the church, and then all of a sudden, why not take black people's money too? You know, like, of course, but then they took that back and said, well, you can't get all of it. And it's just like that in America, from our healthcare system to every single thing. Voting, everything. You've seen that here in Atlanta with the issues of people not able to go and vote. Like, how dare we do that to them? This Nottoway plantation, it blew my mind that people that are still living in that area can track their ancestors back to that plantation, and to think that there are people having weddings there, that is not, I would be there every weekend fucking protesting if those were my ancestors. Like, what do you mean you are celebrating? If that happened to me and my ancestors, I would want to burn it all down. The whole acre, all of it. And the wealth. Because you know who really deserves that land? The people who made the money from it. The people who built it. The people who cultivated it. Not the people who whipped. We give Native Americans land. Where is their retribution? And it's up to us as white women who are deconstructing the patriarchy and breaking away from our ties to the white man to say, hey, that's not appropriate. That is racist. What you are doing is racist. That's a microaggression. Whether you want to think so or not, what you're saying is not appropriate. 13th, that movie, Kalief Browder, how he sent that man to hang himself because he wouldn't take a plea off of something poor child knew he didn't do. I need more resources. I need more education. I follow the White Woman Whisperer and Knitting Cult Lady. I love them. I'm deconstructing my white privilege, and I need help. I need more resources. I am so ashamed. I have so much guilt and shame when I see my people online sad that, like, Shyla Hendricks. Oh, what the fuck? What do you mean? What? Are fucking racist. White people, the only culture we have and that we know is racism and colonization. That's all we know. That's all we know. And that's so sick. It's fucking disgusting. And I hate that I'm 30 years old and just now waking